Good evening, everyone. We're going to give it another minute to let folks come in, and then we're going to start. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Family Support Series. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Kayla Tingley. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Graduate Assistant for Family Programs, and I'll be moderating tonight's event. I'm going to pass it over to the rest of our family team, Quan, Mackenzie, and Camille, if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Good evening, families and supporters. My name is Camille Clark. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am the Associate Director of Family Programs in the Office of New Student and Family Programs.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mackenzie Nelson. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Assistant Director of Family Programs, also in the Office of New Student and Family Programs.
Hi, everybody. My name is Quan Shines. I'm the Family Student Coordinator for the Office of New Student and Family Programs.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So tonight I am joined by Kia Frazier, who is a member of University Career Services, and she's here to discuss what ways you can help your student in their search for a professional position. Kia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kia Frazier. I am a career advisor with University Career Services at George Mason University. And with that being said, let's get started.
Hold on, Kia. I'm gonna tell them one more thing.
Okay.
Tonight, while Kia is speaking, please feel free to use the Q&A button, not the chat button, at the bottom of your screen to ask a question. The chat button will be used to show you all kind of some links and different information while Kia is speaking. We also have live transcripts and closed captioning for those who may need it, and this session will be recorded and posted to our website and YouTube channel. Okay, Kia, take it away.
All right. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. Again, my name is Kia Frazier. I'm a career advisor with University Career Services, and I'm excited to talk to you all tonight about the internship and job search and how we support GMU students. Okay. So here we have a copy of our career readiness guide. Essentially, every student who enters our office is provided a copy of our career readiness guide. And this career readiness guide is available, the digital copy. Essentially, this career readiness guide is derived of 3 different things. So when you open this booklet, it is divided into 3 sections. So you have earn your degree and what that may look like, a gain experience section, and marketing yourself, also followed by resumes, cover letters, how to practice for a behavior interview, how to conduct a career conversation, what to wear to a career fair, and things like that. This career readiness guide also has 10-minute challenges, and they are career guided activities that students can complete for 10 minutes each day. Speaking of career readiness, you all may be wondering, what does it mean to become career ready or be career ready? So based on feedback from employers, our employer engagement team, and alumni, in our office, we have designed a career readiness equation that essentially helps students essentially be successful and transition into the workplace. So this equation derives from earning your degree, plus gaining your experiences, plus marketing yourself will all equate to your student becoming career ready. So today we will primarily focus on the gain experience section. There is a number 2 at the top of the gain experience section because employers and recruiters really value our students having at least 2 internship experiences throughout their academic program. And I'll talk to you all a little bit later on in the slides about when is the recommended timeline for your student to gain these experiences. These experiences vary, so they can be academic projects, they can be internships, they can be micro internships, they can be part-time jobs on campus, on and off campus, research, study abroad experiences, and things like that. Marketing yourself looks different. So that can be essentially cover letter, resume, career conversations, and things like that. So again, a combination of all three of these things will all equate to your essentially student becoming career ready. Here we have our job and internship target. So at the intersection of these three elements, so location, industry, and job function, we really try to emphasize this to the student as well. So industry essentially is a group of employers who provide similar goods or services. So depending upon your major, you may want to go into a specific industry. So for example, I'm the career advisor for technology and engineering. So I work with data analytics students, health informatics students, and all of the students in the College of Engineering and Computing. Job function is the actual work you will do. And then location varies. A lot of our students may want to stay here local in the DMV. They may want to have a job or internship abroad, and those opportunities are available also. And then with our platforms that we use, such as Handshake and LinkedIn, you can modify like your location to where you want to essentially have that internship or job. So you all may be wondering about strategies. So how can one achieve their job or internship goal? And what are the top ways Mason graduates get their jobs and internships? So about 75% of students get a internship to job offer. So if your student performs well in their internship, they're more than likely to be presented with an offer to apply for a full-time position and interview for a full-time role. Faculty connections are super important. So a lot of the faculty member at Mason, they may, although they are a professor, they may have industry knowledge, or they may have had experience in said field. So connecting with the faculty members, your employer, academic advisors, and things like that are super important as well. Career fairs and networking events are also super important. We have a variety of different career fairs that occur all throughout the academic year. So we have a fall career fair, which has over 200 employers come. We have a spring career fair, which we just actually finished up about 3 weeks ago. And we did a new thing with that career fair in the spring. We divided that up into 3 days. So that very first day was science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The second day was all majors. And then that third day was business, nonprofit, and government. And outside of those career fairs, because Mason has so many students, we also have different fairs. So we have Education Recruitment Day, which is coming up in March. With Education Recruitment Day, those are for education majors, psychology majors, nonprofit majors, and things like that. And the cool thing about this specific career-related event is that employers do same-day interviewing. So students have the opportunity to meet with education employers in the morning, and then about 12 noon, if that student stands out with resume and experiences and things like that, then they have the opportunity to have that interview at noon. So I wanted to pinpoint that. We also have health and science career fair weeks. And then in May, we have a just-in-time fair for those students who may have not landed that internship just yet, or don't have that job just yet right before graduation. And then I also wanted to share Handshake. So Handshake is our career management system. also known as our job and internship database. And I'll share more with you all about what that looks like and why that is super important for the job and internship search. So networking. So networking is super, super important. When meeting with students in career services, we really emphasize networking. A lot of times students just think, hey, like I applied to this internship on Handshake, I didn't hear anything back, or I'm just gonna upload as many applications as I can, but I'm not hearing anything. We speak with employers all the time. So in our office, we have these employer lunch and learns. And a lot of times we have employers from Hilton. I think next in a few weeks, we have Dominion Energy coming. So we have direct contact with these employers and we identify what are the in-demand skills, what are you looking for from, these majors and things like that. And 85% of jobs and internships are gained through the networking, having that career conversation. So it's not just about uploading the application through Handshake or LinkedIn and things like that. So we really try to emphasize networking and having those career conversations. Okay, handshake, handshake, handshake. So I talked about this briefly. So again, Handshake is Mason's job search platform for on-campus jobs, part-time jobs, work study, internships, and full-time jobs. There are a variety of different postings each and every day from Fortune 500 companies, nonprofits, and more. Handshake also has a variety of different features in which I'll show you on this next slide. Students also have the opportunity to connect with employers, alumni, and peers. And I'll show you all what that looks like as well. In Handshake, I know parents, you probably have a LinkedIn. So we tell students that Handshake is just like LinkedIn. It has the same features and things like that. The key with Handshake is we want our students to complete their profile up to 100%. Once they complete their profile up to 100%, based on their major, their interest and their skills, and maybe some of those projects or volunteer work and things like that, what Handshake does, it then matches their profile to potential industries. So say I am a software engineering major at Mason, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go update my profile to 100%. Once I do that, then what Handshake does is gonna populate different, it's gonna send me messages from recruiters or, hey, your profile matches this internship, your profile matches this job opportunity. So we really try to hone in on Handshake as the number one tool. Once students, by the first day of class, students should have access to Handshake. And if they don't know how to utilize Handshake, we often teach that and walk them through how to do that in career services. So the same with LinkedIn and things like that. And students don't have to come to career services to get like these one-on-one things. What we're trying to do in our office too, we try to bridge the gap with the academics and career readiness. So 9 times out of 10, just like tonight, we do outreaches to meet across the college campus to prepare them for the job, the internship search, and things like that. So definitely just wanted to emphasize what Handshake is. And then moving right along. So this is just an example of how our students can use Handshake to help find employers. So here you see, you can use filters to match your target. So for example, there are many, I would say the top 2 most important tabs that I use with students in Handshake is the jobs tab, because that's where you're gonna find your internships, part-time jobs, on-campus jobs. And then also you wanna use that employers tab as well. Using that employer tab, you're going to find employers from large companies all the way to small companies, all the way down to LLCs, nonprofits and things like that all around the DMV area. These filters are super important. So I just wanted to emphasize that. This goes back to networking, right? Connecting with employers. So this people tab is super important. So here on your screen, you see this people tab, and then you see this woman, her name is Casey, and she is a campus recruiting specialist. So say I want to apply to this internship, but I want to introduce myself. I want to have an informational interview. Like I said before, 85% of internships and jobs are most likely made through that connection career conversation. So in the people tab, students have an opportunity to essentially message the direct recruiter, gain insights on how their application materials can be improved, or they get to introduce themselves and talk about, hey, these are the skills I've gained in my classroom or through study abroad. How can I stand out as an applicant? Can you walk me through the day-to-day process and what it's like to, work in your company? Or how does your company values align with, what I want to do career-wise? So I just wanted to touch base on the many features of Handshake. The same thing, connecting with peers. So a student may have a peer who recently did an internship at Capital One, and they want to learn about what that student experience was like, so they can also message their peers on Handshake as well. So that's what this is here. We also help students essentially draft that message, right? And this is just an example of what a career conversation would look like. So I obtained your name from Handshake, or I obtained your name through our career connections page on Career Services website. I would love to set up a 20-minute conversation to talk to you about your career path and any advice you have while I'm in college to better prepare myself to enter the job market. So again, students can connect with employers, alumni, and peers all through Handshake, and we walk them through how to do this in our office as well, in one-on-one appointments. I forgot to mention, so in our office, we have a variety of different career advisors. So I am the career advisor for technology and engineering. We have government career advisors, health, from all different industries. So we have a whole team of people across industries to help our students succeed in becoming career ready. So I just wanted to emphasize that. These are just examples of follow-up questions a student would ask, in that People's tab, or when they're drafting that message, or even when they have that informational interview. These are questions that they can even ask in that informational, pardon me. And these are essentially next steps when we're talking with students. We really want students to set a goal of at least following at least 100 employers on Handshake. There are opportunities that happen all throughout the academic year. Based on your child's student major or industry, the recruitment timelines are going to be different. So if we are talking about education or nonprofit, or something like that, that recruitment time happens in the spring, whereas accounting, consulting, technology, and engineering, that recruitment starts in the fall. Like, that's peak season for recruitment. And then when you pivot a little bit to the spring, there's still recruitment going on, but Handshake does a great job at telling you like when there is job and internship deadlines and things like that. We really want our students to conduct as many career conversations as possible. You never know who knows someone. Creating a LinkedIn account and updating their LinkedIn profile. In our office, we have a variety of different workshops. We can also help in the appointment set up the LinkedIn profile. The LinkedIn profile often mirrors the Handshake profile. Another step, attending employer networking events. So there is a link called careers.gmu.edu/events. And in that resource, we have a variety of different events. So for example, if your student is interested in, majoring in cybersecurity, and they want to talk to an employer who, you know, is cleared, and they want to go through that process. Our office hosts a variety of different events in the fall and spring called Intro to Security Clearance. Like I said before, coffee chats, webinars on how to essentially identify the process as an international student looking for internship or job and things like that. And then again, we really, really, really emphasize using Handshake to apply for internships and jobs. Here. Okay. So many of you may be wondering, okay, what is the Mason impact? How are students doing, right? Where are they, you know, getting these internships? Where are they getting these jobs? What are our percentages? What employers often recruit at Mason? The list varies. You can scan this QR code, and this link also be shared in the chat as well. So here we see some stats here. So select employers vary from Deloitte, IBM, MITRE, FEMA, AAPR, Peraton. These companies also come to our, for example, in the fall, I did a workshop with Peraton. Peraton came to campus as a campus partner, and we partnered and did an event called Prepare for the Fair. So students have the opportunity to directly, you know, have that face-to-face contact with the like hiring recruiter, hiring manager, and things like that. So definitely wanted to share our data and outcomes with you as well. And then top industries. This is just a general, so education, government, military, technology, and healthcare. And then some of you all may be wondering, okay, when should my student try to, you know, get that internship? When do they gain the experiences? When is a good time? So in the freshman year, we really want our students to get acclimated with George Mason, right? Identify those resources. So like we all know that's going to start at orientation. You know, from orientation, your student may get sent to, you know, student success coaching. From success coaching, they may be sent to career services. And then we're all across, you know, collaboration, and we all work together. We do want students at the freshman year to explore majors and related careers. And then we do allow students to come to us in freshman year, because we really have resources in talking to them. Okay, if I'm majoring in biology, or if I'm majoring in data analytics, what are my career options? What are those job titles? What are those internship titles in which I need to look out for? So that's freshman year. Sophomore year, you really, really, really want to be focused on securing your first career-related position, such as an internship, part-time job, or research or study abroad. These experiences can be gained in the classroom. So we call those project-related experiences. So academic projects that's done in the classroom, study abroad, any leadership, group projects, things like that. You want to build relevant skills needed for your career of interest. And then in junior year, you really want to secure that second career relevant position. So such as an internship. And then you also want to leverage your experiences as well. And then you want to refine your career goals and decide whether you will pursue grad school or look for a job in your senior year. So definitely wanted to emphasize the recommended timeline. And these are a variety of our resources that I kind of mentioned throughout this presentation. So we have our website. Students do have the opportunity to make one-on-one appointments with us at Career Services. We have evening career advisors as well. They work in the evenings from every day from 7 to 11. And then these industry-specific resources pages are going to be super important, and they vary based on your major, but that's available as well. We help with interviewing. Handshake is going to be you know, top career management, internship, and job search ready platform. And then the list goes on from resume templates to workshop and employer events, the GO office, OIPS, so more information about data and outcomes. And then really want to plug InnerStride as well. as that platform is utilized for our international students, but also if you have a student interested in, studying, not studying abroad, but wanting to seek that internship or job outside of the United States. And now I want to welcome any questions that anyone may have.
Thank you so much. This was super, super helpful. Make sure to continue to put your questions into the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and we'll go ahead and get started. So one question we have is, does University Career Services review students' LinkedIn profiles as well as resumes and cover letters?
Yes. So as far as LinkedIn profiles, that can be done in a one-on-one appointment. So our appointments are 45 minutes in length, and you can come as many times as you need to. The goal is to, yes, come frequently, but make the progress that you need. So your students are leaving with an action item. We also help with resume, cover letter, interview prepping. Those are done in a myriad of different ways. So we have drop-in hours. So drop-in hours are every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And they will be seen by a peer career advisor, also known as our PCAs. And whoever is the career advisor on for drop-ins, I know I'll do drop-ins on Mondays, every afternoon on Mondays. So yes, we definitely do resume, cover letter, interviewing prep, and helping the student build their LinkedIn profile.
Well, thank you. Also, just to state that everybody who registered for this session will receive the slides. So you'll be able to access all of these links as well. So our next question is, does volunteering count when it comes to professional experiences?
Yes, so volunteering absolutely does help. And I forgot to mention this. When we meet with employers or recruiters, and I keep using tech, I know I don't mean to be biased. I just work with technology and engineering, like that's my industry. Recruiters have said we want to see volunteer, we want to see leadership. If we think about those NACE core competencies, right? What are those skills that students are learning? It's not just about the technical aspects of your degree. What are some of those transferable and soft skills? Those are also needed in the work environment as well. So yes.
Right. So could you also kind of reiterate when the career fairs happen?
Sure.
And how students can access that information? Is it emailed to them, or how do they access your events?
Yes, so we have so many career fairs, and those can be found at careers.gmu.edu/events. We also send out a mass email to like our departments, our liaisons. So students are emailed on a listserv about when those fairs are. So every year we have a fall career fair, spring career fair, health and science careers week, education recruitment day, just in time fair. We also have an internship fair. We did it for the first time last year or something like that, but we have a variety of different fairs and opportunities for students, and they can be found in our events webpage, and it's free. So it's free. So yeah.
So we've got a couple questions kind of about how to find specific internships and professional opportunities in Handshake. So is there some sort of filter, or do they just search kind of history or any other subject?
Yeah, so in Handshake, when you log into Handshake, I wish I had time to do a demo, but in Handshake, you would go to the filter. So you're going to search by keyword. So say I am looking for a public health internship. I'm going to go to that search filter. I'm going to put in quotations public health. I'm going to filter my location. I'm also going to filter, do I want this internship to be hybrid, right? Do I want this internship to be paid? And then once you click search, there's going to be a variety of different internship opportunities that come up. The key is knowing, and you can search by skill as well. So you can search by skill, keyword, and industry. So a variety of different opportunities in Handshake.
Cool. So we've got someone asking about observerships or shadowing experiences for medical schools. Is that something that University Career Services could help with?
Yes, so if we go to, off the top of my head, if we go to careers.gmu.edu/shadowing, www.gmu.edu/career-specific resources, there is a link for our health students, right? And then on that career specific page, if you scroll down to gain experiences, there's opportunities of like where to find those shadowing opportunities and things like that. Also, if you go to the your academic program, there are resources there as well. But we help students with that in our appointments as well when they're searching for those opportunities.
Thank you. So we've got some worries about if a student hasn't participated in a professional opportunity and they graduate in the spring, are internships something they can do after graduation, or can career services help them look for a professional position?
So we really, it's rare that a student can do an internship after their graduation date. So that's why we really emphasize them, getting their foot in the door, like freshman year, or sometimes like I'll give you all a scenario. If it is your sophomore year, right? And you are like, man, I didn't find an internship yet. But I need to build these skills. We have a variety of different like programs. So you could sign up for something like CodePath, or that's for like tech and engineering students. Or we have a website called Parker Dewey. Parker Dewey is a resource where students can get paid micro internships, or those smaller projects that you can put on the resume. We really and say that may not be an option. Okay, what can I do over the summer where I can build specific skills? Can I go on LinkedIn Learning and enroll in a free course to put that on my resume to gain specific certifications and skills? But we really emphasize our students to start the freshman year. We really don't encourage students to wait until their senior year. So we want to get them career ready as soon as they start at Mason.
Thank you. Are internships only available for those who have declared a major?
No, so you can be, I don't even want to say undeclared, right? So as long as so say someone comes to me and they have an undeclared major, but they have experience in, I don't know, like customer service, or there's like they want to major in psychology and they're taking like some of those core classes, or they're enrolled in a psychology program, but they haven't maybe declared, but they may have taken like a psych course or something and have done a project. As long as you have some type of experience on the resume, that's going to be super important. I just want to also echo this. You have to have some type of experience on the resume. You don't want to just try to apply for a job or internship without any type of experience at all. And we really work with students on trying to, help them even identify what that experience look like. So in appointments, it may look like, hey, what classes are you taking? Like, are you taking a, public health class? Did you do a research project in that class? That's something you can put on that project. So showcasing those action verbs and those result-oriented outcomes. So a lot of students are like, I applied for this, but I'm not hearing back. So the whole purpose of a resume is to land an interview. Once you land that interview, you're going to use those experiences on your resume, or that you learned, through volunteering or in the classroom, to market yourself in the interview.
Thank you. We've got a couple of questions about the major gaming design. Where would that fall kind of in the teams in University Career Services?
So we have in the resource career specific resources, where it says industry specific resources. Once you click on that, that is going to fall underneath arts and entertainment. And then we also have 2 really great career advisors who specialize in that industry as well. So that's where the game design falls underneath. And then there's also, I just want to plug this, George Mason does something called a Game Mason. And that is also another great opportunity for students to really connect with faculty and those in the industry who have succeeded. I know sometimes there's a lot of like bias or challenges with like, hey, like I'm in this game design, degree, and like the DMV area doesn't really have many opportunities, but I would definitely encourage students to attend Game Mason, check out the career specific resources and different ways to gain said skill.
So we have someone asking, they're interested in what advice do you guys provide for participating in Zoom interviews? So what you would wear, your Zoom background, etc.
Absolutely. So in one-on-one appointments, students can set up interview prep. We also have a resource called Interview Prep that we showcase to students as well. And in this resource, you have the opportunity to practice with that resource, but then you also can practice with a career advisor as well. In the career readiness guide, if you go to the market yourself section, there's an image of like different types of attire you wear in a virtual interview. We also have interviewing rooms in our office. So say a student needs to reserve an interview room to conduct an interview, they can do that through our website as well.
Thank you. So what should students wear to career fairs?
So we really try to emphasize business casual, right? So no sweatpants, no headphones. It can be, you don't have to be in a three-piece, two-piece suit. Something professional. If you look good, you feel good, you're gonna exude confidence. So I try to echo that all the time.
Yeah. So could you talk a little bit about the role of a student's department advisor versus career services and kind of how they should be using those specific resources to look for job opportunities?
Yes, so although we are always in direct contact with the academic advisors and the academic departments, we are like their closest liaison because we, some of the stuff is interconnected. So I'll just use this example. If your student is trying to identify what classes to take, they're going to go to their academic advisor. If they want to identify how do I find an internship, or how do I essentially use my degree? How do I use my degree, and how do I market myself? What story does my degree tell? What story does my resume tell? Then they're going to come to career services. So we, in our office, we don't provide academic advising. So we aren't helping the student pick their classes, change their classes. However, if they want to change their major, sometimes they do come to us. Not sometimes, they do come to us when they want to change their major, because then we give them an assessment called the Strong Interest Inventory. That assessment assesses their skills and their interest, and what type of work environment may they be interested in. So those are the differences between a career advisor, academic advisor.
Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Let's see. We've got a question, what you mentioned about Dominion Energy coming to campus soon. Will they be meeting with students or just staff?
So Dominion Energy is coming to career services. So I forgot to mention, or probably mentioned it. So we have a team in our office called Employer Engagement Consultants. So our employer engagement consultants, they have contacts with employers in the DMV area. And essentially, what they do is they help source out these employers that are coming to career fairs, who do like tabling events and things like that. So Dominion Energy will come to us for a lunch and learn. And in that lunch and learn, Dominion recruiters from Dominion Energy will tell us, hey, these are the type of internships we're hiring for. These are the skills we're looking for. And then what our role is as career advisors is when students come to our office and they say, hey, I'm looking for, this internship, we can direct them to Dominion Energy. Like, hey, this is their resources. Let me help you with their documents and things like that. And this is what they're hiring for. I do want to add on to that though. Specific companies do come to campus and they do like those smaller events like coffee chats, informational interviews and things like that. And those companies often are in Merton, the Johnson Center, and that's when the students also have opportunity to connect with the employer. We also have something called site visits in our office. So for example, let's say a year ago, I did a site visit with a company called BizFlow. And on that site visit, students had the opportunity to sign up to attend that site visit. So in that site visit, they got a tour of the company. They got to understand the interviewing process and things like that. So there are a variety of different opportunities for students to connect with employers face-to-face and one-on-one.
Well, thank you. So we've got a few questions about connecting to alumni.
Mhm.
Would Handshake be the best way to do that, or would there be a different way to do that?
So there are 3 different ways to do that. So we have our career connections page, which is found on this resource page. A lot of times we try our hardest to allow students to connect with alumni through LinkedIn. I found that to be most useful because you get to go to the college. And then sometimes in Handshake, alumni may not, I don't know if they either have access after graduation. I know sometimes people don't really have access, or they probably don't think about, oh, let me go log into my Mason my Mason email. So I would say LinkedIn and our career connections are going to be those top ways to connect. And then we also have a series in our office where we have an alumni networking event where alum come back and talk to the students, and they get a chance to ask them questions about where they currently are, where they work, and things like that.
Could you talk a little bit about the modality in which students find internships, whether they're mostly remote, in person, or a hybrid? We've got some questions about just remote opportunities.
Yeah, so when you log into Handshake or LinkedIn, there's a filter that students can put um, if they want a remote internship, or if that company offers a remote internship. They will have to just filter that when they're doing their internship search. Some companies are doing hybrid, some are fully remote, but all of that is going to be found in Handshake as well in that search.
Thank you. Could you go back to the slide requesting kind of a short video chat so students can, people can take a screenshot of that?
Sure. So this one, career conversations.
So that'll be the a template for students to kind of look for a meeting.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, we've got a question about our daughter's an anthropology major. Her parents are both engineers, so very different fields. So could you talk a little bit about like the liberal arts fairs and advice?
Liberal arts fair. My brain is liberal. I'm trying to think. So I don't work with like our liberal arts students. Our 2 career advisors who actually work with that industry but have more information on that. But I do know that there are, like I said, different type of events and things like that that may happen throughout the academic year. And then we also have something to, because I don't want to like leave the question hanging. We also have a resource on our webpage called "What Can I Do with This Major?" So, for example, if I were to meet your child student and they are anthropology major, I could simply in the appointment go to "What can I do with this major?" Click on liberal arts, and I would identify, okay, I am majoring in anthropology. What are my career options? What are my it varies too. Anthropology is broad, so it will have to be kind of like funneled down into like what you are looking to do with your anthropology degree. You can go into we have a thing in our office called 1 degree mini majors or mini opportunities. Just because I am an anthropology major doesn't mean I want to, I don't know, be a history professor. You can do a variety of different things, but we talk to the student about what their interest is and what they want to do with said degree. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you so much. So does University Career Services kind of work with international student services to answer any visa questions and employment opportunities for international students?
Absolutely. So in our office, about last year, a year or 2 ago, we have this platform called Interstride. So Interstride was designed specifically for our international students. And in Interstride, we have a list of, it's kind of like Handshake, but it's tailored for international students, and you can filter by H-1B, cap exempt, international companies, and then all companies who have offered sponsorship in the past. InterStride is going to be super helpful platform. And then as far as like the visa process and CPT and OPT questions and things like that, students often are referred to OIPS as well, but we often work together. I literally just had a meeting with them yesterday about how to, continue our collaboration in support of our international students. So there are opportunities for our international students.
Cool. Thank you. So do research assistantships and teaching assistantships count towards required experience?
Absolutely. So remember, I talked about gain experiences. So that doesn't have to necessarily always be an internship. That can be a research assistantship. That can be a teaching assistantship. That can be projects and things like that. So it absolutely counts.
So, mm, mm, okay. So we had kind of a question about students attending the job fair if they're not seniors who are graduating. And so what is the best use kind of that if they're not looking for a full-time job right away?
We always tell students you want to utilize it as a learning experience, right? So say I'm a freshman and or sophomore and I'm not ready to apply for that internship. I'm not ready to apply for that part-time job. You want to talk to employers, introduce yourself. Okay, what are you looking for? Like what skills are in demand? Or maybe by the time I get to senior year, by the time I get to junior year, what's going to be changed about your company? What are you looking for in an ideal candidate? How can I set myself up for success as a freshman who is majoring in this and I want to work for your company in the future? So you want to utilize it as a learning experience, a learning opportunity. So that's how that student would attend those fairs.
So if a student is from out of state, can he do an internship over the summer where he's in his home state? I remember you mentioned kind of location filters on Handshake. And is there any specific help for students not in the DMV?
Can you repeat the very first part? If the student is
An out-of-state student.
so if they're an out-of-state student and they want to do an out-of-state internship,
Mhm.
and what was the second part? I meant the third part.
Just kind of talking about if there's opportunities outside of the DMV.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So in Handshake and just like with LinkedIn, you want to use that location filter. I know students all the time, they're like, hey, like I live in Texas, but I'm coming to school here in Fairfax, Virginia. I want to do an internship back in my home state. I think they are more than welcome to do that. Again, it's all about experience.
So can a student in the Global Gateway program look for opportunities for the summer remotely? And can they still have a meeting with career services?
Absolutely. I'm actually the liaison for the Global Education Office, and we often help with their personal statements, resume, cover letter, how to market yourself after you come back from a study abroad experience. And I know Geo has virtual and remote internships. So the answer is yes.
So we had kind of a concern about career fairs being super well attended, which is really great. But if a student kind of feels overwhelmed by that space or things like that, what are some other ways that they can connect with employers?
So some of those smaller events, right? So some of those coffee chats, some of those site visits. I tell students all the time, even if you don't come to this career fair, come see me, come see me, come talk to me, because you can still follow up in Handshake as well. You can introduce yourself, you can set up an informational interview, you can go to some of those smaller events and things like that. So I hear all the time, like the career fairs is too crowded, it's a lot going on. I didn't hear anything back, so there's alternatives as well.
Okay, do you have any advice on what LinkedIn learning opportunities are the best and how students can access those?
Yeah, so I don't know. So I teach a course called UNIV 320, and that course is called Internship to Career Readiness. And a lot of their assignments are LinkedIn learnings, right? So LinkedIn learning varies. So it's going to be based off of like your interest and what do you want to learn more about. So you can go to like a LinkedIn learning about a specific technical skill. You could do LinkedIn learning of how to practice your personal pitch. How do I introduce myself? So there are a variety of different like learning tools. A lot of them are free. And I know if you'd have a premium account, you get access to like even more things like that. And that's something you can put on your resume as well, and how to we can walk you through how to market that on your resume and even in an interview.
So, thank you. How would you advise a student in kind of changing their major? Who can they reach out to for that? Especially if their current advisor is not in that same major that they may want to change to.
Okay, all right, great. I'm gonna use Kayla as an example. So Kayla is gonna come to me, and she is an integrative studies major in she was gonna do a concentration in let's see, I don't know, applied human factors or something like that. But she wants to change her major. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna meet with Kayla and I'm gonna talk to her about like, hey, what's motivating you to change your major? Is this like what's motivating you? Like, what are your interests, right? And then if she's interested in taking the strong interest inventory, we're gonna take an assessment, right? So based on an assessment, or a lot of times we have career guided activities called like what I know and what I can do. And I'll do something like that. So assessing where she is and where she wants to go. And then what we'll do is we'll pull up that academic catalog with her for the major she may want to transfer over to, right? And then I'll put her in contact with that academic advisor for that program. I do want to note that the Costello, I think I forget the name, but the College of Business has a different career center than University Career Services. Sometimes we do see students who may start in the College of Business and they want to change their major. So we do see those students, but just wanted to echo that. But that is essentially how we would work with the student who wants to change their major and put them in contact with that academic advisor.
Thank you. Could you repeat the university, the class you teach?
Yes, so there are a variety of different ones. So there is essentially career preparation course, but I teach University 320, so UNIV 320, internship to career readiness. So 1 credit course.
Awesome. And are there career service folks who are available over spring break?
Yeah, we are not closed. We are open in the summer, we open in spring break, we don't close unless it's like Christmas break or something like that. So we will be available.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
We do have a question about kind of federal work study
Mhm.
and concerns about just employment in the country and things like that. So would there be someone who specializes in work study to help?
Yes, so we have an actual federal work study advisor, and then we also had a specialist for our on-campus jobs in our office who can answer all of those questions. And then in orientation, we also go over like the federal work study process, what that looks like if you're awarded, how to filter that in Handshake. So, for example, if your student is awarded federal work study, once you log into Handshake, you can use that filter. Their profile will automatically populate because it'll know that they are a federal work study student. I know it's a lot going on in the world right now, and we're just closely monitoring everything. But we definitely, I think we also have a website. I don't know if anyone from NSFP has that link to share with families.
We have the federal updates website. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So any advice for students who are kind of struggling to get an appointment in University Career Services? Should they call, continue to use the online feature?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a struggle to get well, if you're a technology engineering student, possibly because we get booked up like weeks in advance, but we're always available. We accept, like, you're more than welcome. So key thing is Handshake, or you can call our office too and talk to the front desk and they'll get you on the calendar immediately. So yeah.
Awesome. And one last question. You mentioned the strong interest inventory.
Mhm.
where can someone learn more about that?
Yeah, so you have to be certified to interpret the strong interest inventory. So someone like myself and all of our career advisors are certified in that assessment. So if your student is interested in taking the strong interest inventory or any career related assessment, they can request that through our office, and we'll give them an interpretation and talk to them about what that assessment assesses, and then go from there, essentially.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of information. So thank
Yes.
you so much, Kia, for all your expertise. And families and supporters, you will receive a copy of this presentation, so you'll have all of this information. And I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you all.
you to check Mason Family Connection for any updates we may have, and have a good evening.